Hang on. I thought I had everything set up. Mic check, mic check. How's everybody doing tonight or today? Uh, well, I went out and got some of my walking done. I'm not sure if I can get, yeah, they're too small yet. I was outside, so I had the boot on, and I kind of like it because I can put, the balance is still shit on it, but I can put full weight on it when I got the boot on. Or I can't really, I can walk a lot less easier, I guess. I don't know really the right word for it, but I walk a little less easy, a little less natural. I can walk damn near natural if I put the boot on. But now that I'm back inside, I got my shoes on, and then okay, what am I doing? I came over here to do something, and I can't remember what it was. Uh, oh, I know what. Okay. Yeah, I came over here to repair my tools. I was down. I had these things working, and I know what it is. It's got to do, and I think they're fixed now. But they were working fine, and if I stayed over here, or if I shut them off when I left, but I had these things working over here. And then what happened is either loading, unloading, whether the game was loading or when I was like leaving the area coming in, these carts would crap out in the middle somewhere. And so I would have had a lot because I was basically going through the pumpkins and using them to repair things, not knowing that the not knowing that they had quit working. And so I'm I'm basically got to build everything up again. But I had this thing built, it worked, and again, it's a Minecraft glitch. It is what it is. I don't even get that mad about it anymore. It used to piss me off some fears. Okay, now I, yesterday, and on some, I think it was a good discussion. I don't think I was that bad, and I'm probably wrong. But I do apologize for not sticking to the subject I was gonna. And then all the and I gotta be honest with you, I was actually pretty happy. I this morning when I got up, I put my all the streams I got, all the little streams I got on Twitter or Twitch. I went and uploaded them to, or exported them, or whatever you want to call them to. And I didn't realize this. I didn't think I had put any of my own. And the thing is, and I'm going to be doing the same thing here, and I apologize, but I honestly feel lucky that I'm having the energy and everything else to even put them up. But I went through and just, I think, put all the videos I uploaded up the last time, and I'm gonna probably do the same thing if I'm really feeling energetic. What I'll do is I will copy and paste just a blank thing to explain, a little diagram thing. I uploaded a couple of them, and I don't think I did this last time, but I exported a couple of them from Twitter to. But I went through after the first one or two because I'm like, some of them, like, oh man, they're all gonna look the same because there were several of them where I had the same title to it. And so what I did is I went in and it worked. I didn't know because I never used it before, but when you're doing the export, you can add a description. And what I did is I just put the date on every description. So if it was from, and I had two of them where it was like it was like a certain date, and I had two of them that day, so I put A and B, and then I can at least try and put an order to them or whatever. I can go in and put the date on them. I will try to do that. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know where you think you're going. Is this escape from the planet of the villagers? Get your hands off me, you damn dirty villager. And okay, I'm just gonna go get in here. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back as quick as I can. Okay, mic check, mic check, mic check. Okay, the delay doesn't seem to be as bad as yesterday, so I got that going for me. Okay, here's the thing. Yesterday or this morning, when I was looking, it said I had two followers or two viewers yesterday, and one of them I think is me because I'm watching the stream. So it's the only way I can get a chat on this thing. And I didn't see anybody on yesterday. Nobody chatted with me. So if anybody's watching, just so you know, on my crappy old tablet, I can't do this on my computer like I used to. It's nice. It's right in front of me, so I notice it maybe a little more, maybe. But it's given me the stream elements. I'm now live streaming Minecraft. All that, and then it says connecting. And I'll type in something. Hang on. Okay, now it's putting that in there, so obviously I'm thinking nobody was chatting, but it's saying connecting, so it's one of those things where I could have people connecting to this and viewing it, and I'll just never know. Okay. Yeah, this is the main thing I wanted to do because I'm thinking about going back and doing some more work in the Nether. This is the way I normally like. What yesterday, I I've been doing a lot of stuff out here. While monitor your expectation. What I say, like a lot of stuff for me, but I've been doing it out here. Like, I did this. I've been gathering stuff. It's not. It doesn't seem that productive maybe to you, but I was gathering stuff, so I have it. And I get bored. Well, then like yesterday when I was in the Nether, I'm just like, okay, I haven't worked on this in a while, and I was really feeling it yesterday. So okay, so let's see, what are we gonna do for a topic? They first of all, I don't really have anything new to talk about with the Skinwalker Ranch because we didn't have an episode this week. You know, the Skinwalker fans didn't get theirs this week, but I can't really get too mad. I kind of have respect that they. I kind of have respect that he wants him to skip it on a holiday. When I was working in, what do we got here? When I was working in Indiana, I think I was coming back. It was like a 3 or 4 day weekend, and I was coming back, and I'm used to the stuff being open. And I went to Cadoba. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but it's a Mexican It's a Mexican. It's kind of like a high end Taco Bell, kind of like Southwest Moe's. And I went there, and there was a sign on the door. I think this might be why they replaced her, because she was like the manager or the assistant manager, and she worked her ass off. Every time I went, just about every time I went there, she was working. Well, I think it was her decision that they weren't going to be open while they ended, because I remember her talking about how she was running out of business cards, and she called them, And they said, well, they just couldn't do it right now. Well, yeah, they were getting ready to. I didn't really go to that place that much after that because I honestly think they. I started going to Southwest Mo's a lot more, and then I got sick shortly thereafter anyway, so it wouldn't have made that much of a difference one way or the other. But I did stop going to that place as soon as I started, because I got a feeling they fired her because, and I'm like, that's a decent thing to do. I wish more people would be doing that because, like, back in the day, uh, my I had a family member that worked there, and we would go because, like, I think it was on Black Friday, like the day after Thanksgiving. And if that's now, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but if that's now like a racist thing, I apologize. That's what they've always called it. And but that the shopping day after Thanksgiving, and they I think it was like 6 in the morning or something like that. You could go there, and they had this like free. I think it was Hallmark. They had like this free Hallmark ornament that they could give you just for walking in the door. You didn't have to buy anything. And my mom always liked to go get those. Well, she never really bugged me before, and I can't remember where I was working, but I was working third shift. I don't know if it was before I transferred down to Indiana or before. It might have been a job I had third shift hours before I got hired at GM. I really don't know when it was. And what happened was she yelled up like 4 or 5 in the morning, and she wanted to know if I was up, and I go, yeah. She goes, you gonna? I go, yeah, I'm gonna be up for a little bit. And she wanted to know if I would go to the mall and then go to Penny's. And I go, yeah, why? And then she told me what it was. I go, yeah, I can absolutely go with you. So I drove her out. I was staying here for the holidays anyways. It didn't matter to me. Well, this became like a regular thing. We went like every year. And trying to figure out where I am. Okay. And we started doing it every year. Because what would happen is it'd be her sisters-in-law, but a bunch of them would come after a while. They would come in and they would go shopping because we're a small town, but like they're like uber small. And so coming to our some of these sister-in-laws or my aunts, for them to come here, it was kind of a big deal, compared to where they normally would go. And I don't mean it in a bad way. It's just the way it is. It's a fact of life. And she always wanted me to take her so she could get the ornaments. Because, see, sometimes when she went with the sisters, they didn't get there in time and they were all gone, I guess. And so we were doing that like every year. And then what happened was, normally it was we would just go to J.C. Penney's. That was just a normal thing. And then after a while, other stores, because I might be wrong, but as it seems to me, back then when this was going on, this was the only store that really did it. And well, other stores started opening, so I started like, well, hey, since we're out here, do you mind? And she did not mind a bit. She's a pretty good sport about it. And I mean, these Target she liked to shop a little bit at, but like when we go to Best Buy, she had no fucking interest in going to Best Buy. Every now and then she'd find a movie there, but back then she really didn't get that big of a kick out of going. But she was a trooper, and so what happened was there was once or twice where we did not get back because Best Buy had just some really fucking long lines to get your shopping. Target wasn't as well. Target had more shopping aisles or shopping lanes, cashier lanes. where they could check you out. And hang on. I'm sorry, I just wanted to go off on that tangent. I don't even know what I wanted to go off on it for, so if I had a point, it's gone. I apologize. Yeah, anyways, well, there's nothing new from the Skinwalker Ranch, although they are running the trailer for Tuesday. They are running that trailer for Tuesday. And here's the thing, and I really normally he'll say something. He's probably waiting. He probably either won't say nothing and he'll take care of it through the show, or he'll wait until he actually, he isn't going to sit there. My opinion, I could be wrong, but like Brandon Fugel just does not seem to me the type that's going to sit there and get into a whining debate with Mick West. I don't think he's going to do it. And he will probably, and the thing is, because he was real. I mean, I got to admit, and all I can tell you is that this is his public face. But I've watched the show, and I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong, but that Brandon Fugel actually seems like he is one hell of a nice guy, because when you surprise people, you'll see their true nature. If you get them mad, if you surprise them, that's when you'll see their true nature. And he's been surprised on that show. He's not an actor. I don't think he's that good of an actor. But on that show, there's been things that have popped up, like, things that may be UFOs. They appear to be something in the sky that we can't identify. And when this stuff appears, the look on his face is incredible. The look on his face is absolutely incredible. When bad things happen, like, when he finds out that some equipment, he may have borrowed or bought just took a shit. He doesn't seem to throw like a, and I gotta be honest, I don't think I'm a great person. I think I have tendencies to be an okay person under the right circumstances. But I gotta tell you, I don't respond nearly as well as I've seen him do to fucking shit going wrong. I really don't. So I think he's probably like, and maybe it's his religious upbringing. I don't know, but he really does come off. Now, this all might be wrong. He might be putting up a good front, but like when that Mick West he shared it and he said, "Hey, look, we're just, we're not trying to hide anything. whatever we see, something along those lines. But he's like, whatever we see, you'll see, and that kind of thing. And hey, this mic is not bad. It did not really put that over at least not very loud. But no, but he did, that Mick West. I think he could really learn a lot on how to be a decent person because, and I could be wrong. I really hope I am. But he really seems like he's playing gotcha. Like he seems bound and determined. And this Neil deGrasse Tyson I think is in the same boat. Although I think Neil deGrasse Tyson is a hell of a lot smarter with a hell of a lot more potential. But both of them, I think they start from the premise that none of this is going to be real. And so then and again, I could be wrong, but it just appears that they cherry pick everything they see and they only want the stuff that's going to look bad. So they can say, yep, this ain't real. And that's my opinion on it. Okay. Yeah, my brother, he's got to go for an appointment. And as long as he's not going out of town, I don't mind him taking my keys because if something happens to him, it shouldn't be that hard for me to get the keys back from either the police, the ambulance, the hospital. Because if something happens, that's my house key, and I got another key, but I'm not entirely. It's boxed up somewhere when I moved home. But it's the only key I really have access to right now for the car. It's the house key and all that. And so normally I don't really want him to take it, but I kind of had to face reality after I broke my leg because he doesn't have one, and I don't want to be mean, and I don't really have a problem with what happened and what was going on. But when he got married and moved out, he had a house key. And he was allowed to keep it because the theory was, hey, if you ever come home, you'll have a key to come in. That was the theory. And I don't know if any of this is true. This is what I was told. And I don't really have a dog in the fight. But it sounded like he either lost it or threw it out. Well, that pissed certain people off. And they're just like, yeah, not again. But when I broke my foot, I'm trying to amble out and unlock the fucking door for him. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna fucking fall onto the porch again, trying to get my, I'm, I'm gonna get hurt trying to get out here. So I just told him, I go, just start taking the key, because I fell one time. We were going out, we went outside, and we were gonna get in the car and we were gonna go somewhere, and I fell then, and I had a hell of a time getting up. So it's like, yeah, so it's getting pretty close to where I can just keep the keys here because I'm getting around better. But and the other thing was, even if I was had an easier time getting out there to unlock the door for him, they're like, I'm not sleeping as erratically as I used to. It used to be where I would, I could fall asleep, and I still do a little bit, but I'm far more likely, and this is the thing until I am sure, but because I told him before, hey, if I have an issue and I have to go to sleep, well, then you're just gonna have to wait to get in here. It's just the way it is. But like after I lost and after my foot got injured, I'm like, well, I'm sleeping a lot. Well, this is not my normal sleeping habits, and I really didn't want to put him through that. But like, and I don't but Wednesday, because Wednesday he was in town too. He wasn't, because he did once where and I had told him, do not take these keys to Madison. Like, if you got to go to, if that's our capital, he sometimes has to go up there for surgery and that. I go, if you got to go up there, I go, you leave the keys here. Because I go, if you get fucked up either up there or in between, I may never see those fucking keys again. That's unacceptable. He ended up taking them the one time. I got kind of go, look, I go, I don't really care. I go, I don't want to have to remind you every time. You better figure it out, or you're going to lose your key privileges. You'll never fucking use them again, like that. Because I told him, I don't want them leaving town. If he's going, like, if like he's doing a stress test, and like, let's say his heart, and I'm worst case scenario, if his fucking heart explodes and he dies, within a day or two, I can probably get my keys back. The cops and the sheriff around here, are not too bad about stuff like that, I don't think. Okay. I'm still using it on this crappy equipment, but they, just so you know, I don't have a gaming account. I got to look into if I can make one or not. But I've been using Tribel, and I cannot get to my computer, my good one, not easily. So I haven't been using it, and I've still been on Twitch on my personal account. I'm all I got to do is look up what the password is and put it all in, and I can get on my gaming account. But I've been basically just doing my personal Twitter, and not very often. And well, what happened was, I can't remember for sure what day it was. Where is, there we go. But they announced on I think MSNBC that Meta, Facebook, has released a competitor to Twitter, and again, I don't really have a dog in the fight. I really don't. I don't personally have anything against him. I don't hate the guy. I'm not like a big fan. I don't believe a lot of the hype that everybody attributes to him, but I do think Elon Musk has fucked up left, right, and center ever since he took over Twitter. And in a way, I hope I'm wrong because I don't think he's a horrible guy. I think he has some bad impulses. I think he's kind of immature, but I really don't want to see him starve. You know, I don't I don't want to see him lose everything. But he really seems to have fucked Twitter up because, and this is the thing, he's got Tesla, he's got SpaceX, and what he's done is he's got some really talented people there, and that's why those work. Tesla doesn't work because he somehow was a genius and made an electric battery. SpaceX doesn't work because he literally is the money guy, and it sounds like a lot of the work was done before he ever bought them. They were like Twitter, and I kind of wonder if down the road if he's gonna fuck up those two companies like he did Twitter. But the thing is, he came in and thought that he could just come in, shave things, tweak things. He should have ran Twitter like he did the others. He should have, instead of going in and try to take over, he should have kept the people there. He should have found out what those people needed done, and then he should have moved. He just assumed that he could go in and do whatever he wanted and it would work, and he found out that that was not the case. And I still don't think he has learned from his mistake. I really don't think he has learned from his mistake. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, if I don't forget, and if anybody's there, if I do forget, if you could just throw it in the chat, and then if I see it, I'll remember to do it. I am gonna go get some bone meal so I can turn this into whatever this crap is, this green stuff. I want to spread that, and I also want some. I want some of this. I want to just lay this entire road all the way. That's my current goal. But yeah, but that's what's going on. So what I do is I have Instagram on my phone now, and this is probably gonna make things worse, but it's a crappy phone. Things crash. It isn't working good. But I have Instagram on my phone. I have Threads now by Instagram. Yeah, you gotta, if you do go looking for it in the PlayStation, make sure you type in Threads Instagram, because there is another app in there called Threads, and I have no idea what it is. Meta really named it bad. Meta should have came up with a name that wasn't currently being used, because if you go into the Android Play Store and you type in Threads, you're not going to bring up what you're looking for. At least not on my phone. Now maybe it's because of my crappy phone, but it's going to bring up something you don't want. Because I basically went there and I was trying. I was trying to get it to work, and it wasn't working, and I'm just like, well, they must not have had it launched. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, on the news this morning they said they had like a fucking million people sign up for it, you know? And the other thing that's nice about it is, unlike if you create a new Twitter account, is this automatically brings over your followers. So it just starts you out with people. Now you might have to wait for them to accept you or something like that. But so that's kind of nice. That's definitely nice. And okay, let's see what we got over here. I thought about it, but I have not put Twitter app on my phone because I just go on that laptop and it's like that phone doesn't exactly work great. And I'm thinking, the idea of putting more shit on there to screw it up just doesn't seem like it. Just put what you need on there. But I put Tribell on there, I put Instagram on there, and I put that Threads by Instagram on there. And but I need to see if I don't know if I'm gonna because I don't know. I'm not mad. I understand. I don't think I'm all that in a box of cheese. But I really did this thinking, hey, maybe I can make a living at this, streaming. And it didn't work. It literally did not work. I am not mad in the slightest. I don't have any hurt feelings. Oh. But I just don't know if I'm going to create a... because I don't know if I got one. I'll have to find out. If I've got Instagram for my gaming channel, then I'll probably do it. Because all I got to do is log into it, and then when I log into Instagram, I really wish that Instagram would do what Twitter did and AOL does. Big truck must have drove by. But oh. But yeah, oh god damn it, I did it again. I went over there to get some cobblestone. But yeah, so I did that, and then I tweeted and all that, and so, but I think the writing is on the wall for Twitter. I don't know if it's going to completely die. I don't know if it's going to go the way MySpace or the dinosaur, but I really think Twitter, because what got me was they were saying on the news the other day that it's been confirmed. I think they said Elon admitted it, that the effectiveness of Twitter has been cut if you're not subscribing. That it's going to definitely work better for paying customer. Well, right there's a whole shitload of people you're going to lose. If somebody offers something else that works for free, works good for free, they'll go. Because there were so many people that were on Twitter who were never going to fucking pay for it. They were only there because it was free. And again, I don't really want to take either one's side. I don't really, it's the guy with Facebook, Zuckerberg or whatever, I kind of feel the same way about him. I don't really have anything against him. I'm not his biggest fan, yada, yada, yada. But I think he smells the blood in the water. I seriously think he smells the blood in the water. And I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that. And I think he smelled it a while ago, and that's why he had his... This might be something they sort of had on the back burner, but I would say if they... because they just launched it, and I'm just going to say that if they're launching it now, they were probably working on it at least a couple months ago. And maybe it was something that they sort of had on the back burner all along, and they could just basically polish it up, and I don't know. But I got a feeling that when he started fucking up Twitter, Zuckerberg is just like, oh, game on. I just wanna add this in though. Um, I haven't really seen her since, but there was a commercial, and I guess it was Zuckerberg's sister, and I think she's an activist. And I don't know if she's an activist because I don't think Zuckerberg had money until Facebook took off. The thing I find funny, and I don't mean this in a bad way. Hats off to the guy. You know, he deserves hats off for this. But what cracks me up is when you find out that Facebook started as an app where they could like rate like hot college girls or something like that, and it turned into what it is now. It's like, but you know, the thing with Zuckerberg is he he kind of guides them, and there's certain things he tells them to do, but I think he's kind of a big picture guy. He sets a picture, and I would suspect that if people tell him that it isn't going to work or they can't do it yet, that he maybe goes along, that he understands and he accepts it. Where with Elon Musk, I've had bosses like this. They tell you to do something, and it could be the dumbest fucking thing you've ever seen. And then when you try to tell them, and then when you show them it doesn't work, well then they basically got a hard on for you for the rest of your time working with them, because the stupid fucking idea that you knew wasn't gonna work, you showed them it didn't fucking work, and then they actually thought you were doing something to fuck with them. We had one boss. This was years ago. He was like right out of UW Stout. And there's a joke. There's some jokes that go with that. He was a pretty good guy, and he came up the one time and he's like, "Well, yeah, I kind of want you to do this," and I go, "It ain't gonna work." And he goes, "Well, yeah, but I just like you to try it." I go, "Well," I go, and I kind of told him, either he figured it out, I don't know which, but he kind of got the idea that I just didn't want to do it and then have him pissed off that it didn't work. He said, "Look, I just want to watch. Would you just do it that way? And if it doesn't work, I won't bug you again unless I find a better way to do it." And I go, "Well, that's fair enough." And he was true to his word. Not everybody was like that. And so then we did it, and then he would actually try to help. Now this was before I worked for GM. 'Cause GM, there's lines of demarcation. Management people can't. The reason they do this is because they just don't want to prevent somebody from getting hired because management's doing work. But he was trying to help me, and he ended up getting his fingers caught in the machine. Not in a bad way. Well, not in a good way, but not. It's not like the thing closed on him, but he didn't know how to keep his fingers out of the way. Like we were putting a tool in, and he kind of got his fingers wedged between the tool and the chains on the side. He didn't. He learned pretty quick, and I told him, like, "Oh man, I'm sorry. I didn't think you'd stick your." He goes, "Yeah, I didn't know." I go, "Yeah, usually people figure that out." And he goes, "Oh, I know it now." He was a pretty decent guy, and yeah. So, anyways, they got the new Skinwalker coming. But the thing that I don't know is, now it was like I told you, that one guy, Mick West. He put this video out because they had seen a video. It was caught by a high speed camera. And it looked like something zipped by, and the guy figured out how long it took him to go across the camera, and how, because and also I think the guy had a rough idea how far away it was, and he he mentioned that it went across such and such a distance in a little over a second. He gave an estimate. They didn't know for sure, but he gave a rough estimate. And the one guy got his calculator out, started crunching the numbers. This was that Travis Taylor, And he goes, "Oh my God, that thing was going about 3,000 miles an hour is what it was doing." And that Mick West guy made the claim that it was a fly that flew across. And here's the thing. And if a mistake was made, a mistake was made. I can give them that. But they're generally pretty good. Like it was the same show, I think. And the one guy said, "Well, yeah, we're seeing this," and Travis went and looked. Well, when he got his night vision camera up, he said, "Man, there's too many bugs in the air. I can't." So he knew what the bugs looked like. And this is the thing, you looked at them, they looked like bugs. They were flying around, and this was a night vision scope that they found. But you could see, and he's like, "Well, yeah, with all the bugs that are in the air." And he made the claim that this was an insect. And it could be that he zoomed. Again, I don't know. I really don't know. But it could be he zoomed in and this is what he honestly saw. I don't know. But they showed it. And they zoomed in on it a little bit. Not as much as he did, but they zoomed in on it a little bit. And what happened was you saw a shimmer that may have been wings flapping. I really don't know. I got to be completely honest. I really don't know. But I just made the comment. I go, is this... Can you guys, because I was asking, can you guys look at the original footage and see if he's right? Because I said, and I go, I'm just kind of curious. Is it possible that him or someone else edited this video? Because I go, when I watched the show, I don't remember any shimmering. And like I said, now if they had just put it up, but when they got it into the command center with Eric, the observational scientist, who's like the project lead for the scientists, he zoomed in on it a little bit, and it did not have any of this. But again, they didn't zoom in as much, so maybe. But I'm just kind of, because I said, I go, look, UFO history, and I sort of said the history of this has been that there are people out there that will lie. There are people out there that will misrepresent. So I go, is it possible that, what we're in the, this is not in the actual original video. I was just kind of curious. And, like I said, the guy who owns the ranch, he's like, "Hey, look, we're not hiding anything. If that was a fly, he wouldn't have had to put it out there. They could have distorted it so you couldn't zoom in on it. He put it out there as is." And but then, like, my first thought was, well, how do we know that? Can you look at the original, see if it's there on the original? I'll trust him. I'll believe him. And because I just made the comment that we know for a fact that the history of this has always had dishonest people that would lie. Always had it. And that got a few oohs and ahs from the peanut gallery. But, I mean, they've always had it. And I can't remember the names of the guy. One of them was on, and again, Joe Rogan's not perfect, but I think he does do a good job sometimes. But one of them was on Joe Rogan's show. It was him, Joe Rogan, and I think there was a third guy. The guy's been on a couple of times. I don't know if he goes on anymore, but Joe Rogan just took him apart. And the one I can think of, it was over the Kennedy assassination, because he was bringing up things. He's like, well, you got the pristine bullet, and Joe's like, yeah, it's not that pristine. And he goes, oh yeah, it is. He goes, well, let's bring a picture up of it. And like every time he made a claim that Joe Rogan disputed, he would cease arguing as soon as the picture was brought up. It's like he knew. He knew he was, in my opinion, he knew he was full of shit. And as soon as he was shown evidence, he just backed off. And then there was one. Now, this guy I did not see until a recent, and I want to thank Pluto TV, because they've got this. They've got some. They're usually older, but they're ones I've never seen. But they have these. They've got these UFO documentaries, and some of them are ones I've never seen in that. But they had this one guy. Now, this guy I think was maybe in the 80s, but he was definitely in the 70s. And they showed him, and he would do what's known as these ad hominem attacks, where because there was a guy that came out, and this guy was going to say this, that, or the other thing. Well, this guy immediately goes to his criminal record. And I gotta be clear, because I do this a little bit too, and I kind of maybe should do a better job of it. But like, if you are arguing with someone who has a criminal record that actually plays to the subject at hand, like there's this guy, God. I might be wrong. He's a political actor, but I'll give you the whole story on this. He's the one who got Bill Maher fired from CBS. And you might not know that, but back in the day, because if I'm not mistaken, Bill Maher started on HBO, if I'm not mistaken. And then it was politically incorrect. And I used to watch this. I didn't watch it when it was on HBO because I didn't have HBO then. And but it moved over, and it ended up on CBS, I believe. And it was a good, even on CBS. I guess it was better. It was better on HBO, but it was really good on CBS. And what happened was, this guy came on, and it was right after 9/11. And it was a boon for HBO because Dennis Leary had gone fucking nuts. Dennis Leary had absolutely gone fucking nuts. After 9/11, I always liked him as a comedian. And all I can figure is his family and some other people were in New York. I think his family was in New York. And he did not take 9/11 very good at all. Didn't take it good at all. And he kind of fucking lost his mind after that. He would just start going off. And I don't think it was just the politics. The politics might have been part of it. Oh, excuse me. But I think because he did, you'd have to go back and you can have your own opinion on this. Don't take my word for it. But if you go back and look at it, he kind of went off on a bender. He kind of like came MAGA before MAGA. He just sort of really kind of went off the deep end. And what happened was, hang on, I got to get one of those damn mushrooms. There we go. So it's kind of like a win-win for HBO. They got to flush the turd, and they got to get somebody good back. Dennis Miller might have been the one they replaced. I can't remember that. He might have been the one they replaced when they got rid of Bill Maher. I don't remember. Or after they got rid of Bill Maher, he was the, and they realized what a mistake they made. He was the best they could get. I don't know. But what happened was he had this guest on. Something D'Souza, I think, is the guy's name. And he, they were talking about the terrorist. And the thing that came out was, they're like, Bill Maher called soldiers cowards or pussies or something like that. That was the thing. You know, he was blamed for it. A lot of people felt he did that. That was what their thinking was. And the backlash, it'd be kind of like, think about it. It would have probably been worse, but it wouldn't have been that much different after Pearl Harbor. If somebody made some disparaging things, and you got to understand, there's a spectrum on this, but there is a large number of people in the country, like, there's some of them, they you had that Marine sniper or whatever it is, Chris Kyle, that, if you told the truth about that guy, you were an asshole, This is a guy who at one point, he decided to treat people that had PTSD by taking, and again, some of you are not going to understand, some of you are going to be like, if you didn't know this, he started trying to treat PTSD victims coming home from the military by taking them to a fucking gun range. Yeah, I know. He was a fucking idiot. And what ended up happening was, the guy he was trying to help, his victim, he ended up killing Chris Kyle. He ended up killing the other guy, so there was another vet that was basically, I don't know if he was buddies with Chris Kyle or just assisting him. But, it was another one of the dumbfuck squad. And they tried to treat this guy for PTSD, and he killed both of them. He was arrested, and I don't think he got the death penalty, but he went to jail. And I'm not trying to be mean here, and to me, this is not politics. This is something that can help you or not, depending on how smart you are. But this is the same thing, except for it wasn't global across the U.S., But this is the same kind of thing with those people that were telling you to use that stuff you clean fish tanks with to treat COVID, or the fucking dewormer or whatever. This is causing harm to people. This is fucking stupid. And I was down in Indiana. This is before I got, before I got sick. But you had people down there, like I'm not making this up. There's someone down there that is, unless she's quit or been fired, there was somebody down there that in a chat room said that we never cured polio. We just call it the flu now. This is a dangerous level of ignorance. I'm sorry. There's just no way to get around it. This is not one of, and this is the thing, and it's I see it as the battle cry of stupid people. But this idea, well, we'll just agree to disagree. No, we can't agree to disagree on harmful facts. And that's what a lot of people want to do. And I don't know what to tell you, but you just can't. You just absolutely can't. But there's a lot of them out there that want to. I was talking to, and this was a military veteran, someone I worked with down there, and oh my God, I told her about that. I go, yeah, somebody online said that we never cured polio, that we just call it the flu now. She looked at me, she goes, you're kidding, right? And I go, no, and she goes, God, that's some fucking stupid. I go, yeah, it really is. And she was just flabbergasted how dumb these fucking people were. And I don't know what to tell you. I literally don't know what to tell you. And but what happened was, and that this guy is, and again, I don't think he's dumb. I think he's counting on other people being dumb. I might be wrong. And this is the thing you got to understand. Like, you take Infowars. That guy from Infowars. And if you're someone that, now I used to listen to it because I enjoyed listening to it. It was funny as shit. The commercials where he was advertising the fucking morons bomb shelter food. Oh, this stuff's good for 20 years. You can put it in there and you can shit it out after the bomb falls. But he would do that. I used to find that shit hilarious. I absolutely did. And but the stuff he was doing, like when I was listening to it, it was before Sandy Hook and some of the other, before he really got, where he was basically going, oh yeah, there were demons around that person. I could smell the sulfur. He really dialed up the fucking crazy. And hang on, there we go. But no, the weird thing was, his wife took him to court because he was, just talking some crazy shit. Stuff that was really not that dissimilar to the January 6th nuts. The ones that stormed the Capitol, built the gallows, and, are going to jail. And his wife was basically taking excerpts from his show, and she was using it, I think rightfully so, to keep him away from the kids. I think that was the argument. She went in and said, listen to his show. He can't be around impressionable kids. And he argued in court, his lawyer did. Now, this is the thing, whether the judge believes him or not, but he argued in court that he didn't believe any of that stuff. That it was just a character he played to make money. And so what happened was, I honestly don't know if he got to keep his kids or not, but he basically argued in court that he didn't believe any of that stuff. And you would think that that would be a hint and a half for his followers. You know, this is your leader. You know, and I remember hearing the same thing. Now again, I don't know if this is true. This is what I heard, and he's dead now. But I'm trying to keep it real. I'm trying to be honest. But I got to go empty that. I got some stuff I got to pick up. But Rush Limbaugh was another one. I heard that they were talking about him. This is before he died, I believe. But an opening came up for like a football announcer. There was a job that opened up, and if you got it, you would be a football announcer. And he tried for it. He went and he tried for that job, and I can't remember who it was, but it was somebody that sort of knew him. I don't remember if they were friends or not, but it was somebody that definitely knew him, and they said that it would have been a cut and pay. So that they're like, this tells you. Because if he'd have gotten that job, it would have been a cut and pay. He probably wouldn't have been able to keep doing the radio show anymore. And, his little podcast thing. But what happened was they go, if he could, they knew him apparently. And they said, if he could do NFL, he would fucking cut and run from his little ditto heads and never look back. He'd take the cut and pay because they said he really wanted to be a football announcer. And he didn't get the job. I don't think he was that good at it. I think he'd have been better at it than I would be, but, he didn't get it. And maybe they didn't want him because of the toxic shit he did on his radio show. I don't know. But he didn't get the job. And, but they said he would bail on that in a fucking heartbeat if he could do the football. He wanted that in a heartbeat. Okay. We got Hey, I'll let you know what's going on, but I got reached out, and I honestly can't tell you if it's real or not. It it could very well be real. It might not, but it's an adult film. Porn star. I don't mean anything by it, but it's porn star Megan Rain. She, in theory, reached out to me on that new Threads thing and started chatting me up. And I just kind of told her, I go, yeah, I go, and I apparently they do, but because I'm thinking, oh yeah, this is new. They actually need to get those verified check marks. And then while I was like checking it out, they have them already. They have them because it's basically they're already part of Instagram, and they've ported them over to this. Because I go, yeah, they really need to get those celebrity verification things because they go, There's always that, without those check marks, you always wonder if you're dealing with the real thing or not. And I had somebody, I don't know how these people fucking think, but they, but that happened on Tribel. There was somebody that started chatting me up claiming to be Johnny Depp. And I told him, I go, yeah, Johnny Depp's not. He's, oh no, I get on and like to talk to little people on smaller accounts, and blah blah blah. And then what they do is all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, can you get me a game card? I can't get any in my area. And I go, oh man. And it was funny because it was actually true. I had picked up, I think, an Amazon gift card for myself, and the person at the store had told me, because they got this whole thing you have to fill out now that you're not picking it up for somebody else, you're using it for yourself. And Jesus Christ, there we go. Hang on. But what happened was, it's like, well, what do you think? And I just told him, I go, yeah, I can't get any. And then he was kind of all bent out of shape. And I told him, I go, no, seriously, I go, I was just getting something for me the other day. And I go, I tried to get one for me, and I go, they wouldn't sell them. Apparently, the police had been in, and I'm not making that up. I mean, I wasn't trying to get a game card, but I got my Amazon card. But these people, I don't know what the fuck they think. I don't know what the fuck they expect. But it's like, even if I had access to money, why in the fuck would I spend? Johnny Depp does not need, I'm sorry if he does, then, he's got fucking issues, but Johnny Depp really does not need me to fucking buy him a fucking game card. So yeah, if you do get that where anybody asks you, oh well, can you get me this to go? Because especially if they tell you, well, I can't get them in my area, just tell them, yeah, I can't get them in my area too, because they can't very well say, oh well, that's not true. Well, then you can get them. Hey, look, if you're saying that you can't, that if you're saying you can get them, well, then you can get your own. You don't need one from me. But yeah, that just blew me away though. I'm gonna need, but anyway, she reached out to me, and she doesn't have, again, the thing just started up. She only had a couple followers, and she is linked to her actual official accounts. So I don't know if it's really her or not, but the thing is, she's like, well, where are you from? Well, unless the other accounts are bullshit too, I don't know. And but when I searched for her actual social media accounts, it brought up the other accounts. It doesn't have this one because it's so new, but it actually brought up the two accounts that are listed in her profile. And so I don't know. I literally don't know. But she was chatting me up, and she's like, "Oh, where are you from?" I go, "All the Midwest," and then she's like, "Yeah, I'm from California." And then when I went to go respond to that, and it was like just me and her. She had commented on my. It wasn't a private chat or anything, but she had commented on my post. I had comment or she had commented to me. I had commented on her post, and she commented on my post. But for some reason, this was restricted. I couldn't speak, and I told her, I go, well, I can respond here, but I go, I can't respond on your response to me. So I go, I don't know what's going on. And then I told her, I go, well, I'm just going to assume you don't want to talk to me anymore. And, that's fair enough. And I go, it was really nice meeting you. Have a nice day. And then she basically gave me a number, and this is bad because it's out there. Maybe with her, but it's only limited on who can respond to it. So she put it out there publicly, and I don't know if it's going to be up there later. But if she doesn't leave it up there, I'm not going to have it because I didn't write it down. But she told me I could text her on her roaming number. Well, this is the part that bothers me. When I looked up the number, it didn't link to anybody, and it said it was a something about it being a Tennessee number. One post said that something about it being a Tennessee number. Well, if she's from California, why does she have a Tennessee number? And then it also mentioned something in Indiana. So I really don't know, but I'm kind of wondering if it's linked to where I worked and what was going on. So I honestly don't know if I'm going to respond to her, but here's the thing. Um, I could honestly see her maybe working in California and living somewhere else. I don't know. I got to think about it. I don't know if I'm going to comment or not. But that's the thing. I really don't know if it's her or not. Some of the stuff seems sketchy. Usually, if it is too good to be true, it is. But then again, some of it adds up because it's like she's got links to her actual, according to Google, her actual account. So I really don't know. Oh yeah, this here I really don't know, but I I'm the one that usually feeds them, so I'm the one taking the brunt of it. But I think I'm gonna start, and I've done this in the past, like recently, like last week or two. Uh, my brother went out. We're both here, and we're kind of splitting costs on some things, and well, one of the things is the pets. I pick up the breakfast food. He picks up the evening food. I pick up. I'm gonna call them. They're not really appetizers. Give me a second. Like I said, I gotta stretch out my foot, and I got a little. It seems to be working pretty good, but I got a little problem. Like when they're up, you might not be able to see it, but I kind of rotate them sometimes, and then now I put them on the ground, and it's just they've been feeling good, but I basically make sure that my foot resting can stretch. And when I first did this, it felt tight. Now it feels normal. And like the last time I got checked on, the nurse practitioner, because I hadn't been going to rehab, I've been doing it on my own. She goes, "It really looks good." And everything's doing so good. Everything's doing pretty good and all that. Yeah, it still says it's connecting. And, but he spent like way too much on a phone. And then he didn't have grocery money. He was struggling to make ends meet. And then and we went to the grocery store, and I honestly don't know. I don't want to blame anybody, but I think he was just kind of hoping. Well, I went to the area where the cat food was. And he was right with me. He was right there. Well, when we got to the pet food aisle, he like vanished. And I knew he was short of money. And but the thing is, that's his job. If you want pets, they're like kids. You gotta make sacrifices. You can't be a fucking idiot and go spend money you don't have on a fancy fucking phone. And what happened was, I think he thought I was gonna get their food for him. Well, I ended up getting the stuff I pick up, and Well, then when he found out I didn't, and I go, well, I go, they're just, and I told him, I go, well, I go, I'm just gonna have to let the cats know. I go, and I go, I'm gonna start rationing them now, and I did this. I go, when they would, cause she knows what she's supposed to get, and she's getting a half a can at night. She gets a full can at breakfast. They got a half a can at lunch, and then she gets a full can at night again. Well, she's getting a half a can. And she immediately is coming to me, being nice, begging not to starve. There's plenty of dry food for him there to eat. And I told her, I go, hey, look, I go, he had to spend money on a phone. And I go, he doesn't have money for your food. And I go, and he said that in 10 to 12 days. And, I think it's the 7th or something today. So he's got like 3 to 5 days. He goes, he thinks he's going to have money for food on the 10th or the 12th. And, and then he'll get you some food. That's where we're at right now. Well, then a couple days went by and they were getting rationed. And I let them know, I go, and I told them, I go, I'll ration it out as long as I can. But I go, when it's gone, they're going to have to eat dry. And I told them, I go, I'm going to make sure they know that, you're the one that screwed up. I go, I'm going to probably get yelled at. But I'm going to let them know that you're the one that doesn't have the money for them. And because I had kind of mentioned, because there was something he didn't have money for. And I told him, I go, hey, this is something you're going to have to figure out. I go, you just can't go piss money away that you don't have on a phone like this. You got stuff you got to pay for here. And we're supposed to be splitting the cost on the paper plates. Because I finally told him, I go, look, I can't do the dishes. I go, I can't do dishes 2 or 3 times a day because you want to eat and be a fat fucking slob and dirty up all the dishes. I go, we got to get paper plates. Because I told him, I go, I don't know what's going on. And I go, it seems like it's gotten worse since Mom died. But I go, here's the thing. I go, I started doing the dishes while you were gone because I go, Mom started getting sick. She wasn't feeling good. So I started doing it for her. And I go, I did the dishes when it was me and her. I did the dishes when you came back. And I go, I can tell you for a fact. And it was better when Mom was home because he could spend more money on this microwavable stuff. So he wasn't, he could just eat, you could eat in the container. But since Mom died, I told him, I go, you are doing more dishes in one day than me and Mom would do for 2 or 3 days. And I told him, I go, look, if you've got something wrong with you that you think eating like a fucking slob and fucking dirtying up all these dishes is some kind of Zen-like state of achievement, I go, you got to get that shit out of your head because I go, I can't keep doing this. I go, I literally can't keep doing this. And I go, and when I get healthy, I'm not going to keep doing it. It's going to get to the point where if he needs to use 8 bowls, I'm exaggerating a little bit. But it's going to have to get to the point where if he needs to use 8 bowls a fucking day, then what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to take his ass out in the kitchen. He's going to have to take his first bowl for the day and put a little soap in it and rinse it out, dry it, and fucking reuse it. Or he's going to have to fucking quit eating so much because I can't keep doing this. It just ain't going to fucking happen. I mean, I'm not kidding you. If Michael Phelps ate like he did, he'd be too fat for the fucking Olympics. And that guy was burning just a monstrously shitload of fucking calories. But no, he did that. And then yesterday, I don't know what it is because I didn't open it. He didn't open it last night, but he got a box from Walmart. And we went somewhere, when he found out I was going to make the cats eat dry food because he didn't buy food, well, then he told me, and this is the part that really gets me, and there's a few things he did here, but, if it keeps up, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start buying my food, he can start buying his food, and if I catch him fucking eating my food, something bad's going to happen to him because, I'm not going to keep dealing with it. But like as soon as he ran out of money, well then I noticed, oh, well he's cooking up a package of bacon for, and I'm like, hey, that's community bacon. That was bought by mom. That's not yours. So I got my half of that, and I made some BLTs and stuff. And and then all of a sudden, when we're going to the store because he's low on cash, he's not buying like packages of pork chops and cooking the whole fucking thing. He's getting these little baby packages of pork chops, and he's cooking up half of them, and they're not very big. So I like when I saw that there were these three little pork chops on the thing, I thought he grabbed his already. So I grabbed like two of them. Well, then I found out he hadn't taken any. Well, yeah, because what he did is he cooked half of them for breakfast so he could eat them when I wasn't eating. And when I pick up meat for the house, it's pretty much community unless I let him know. Like I picked up some hamburger the other day, and God, what did I use? Use part of the hamburger for something. Oh, for spaghetti, and then I used the other half of it for tacos. And so he didn't get too, but again, that's not a normal thing. That's rare. But as soon as he got short of cash, oh shit, he's fucking getting up and cooking his meat for him. Fuck me. And then whenever I'm cooking, he's worried about eating. And I'm like, I don't really care, but if that shit continues, if it happens one or two more times, then I'll be just like, hey, you know what? When I get meat, I'll cook it for me, and then when you get meat, because I'll make out ahead of time. I'll come out ahead on that. I'll absolutely come out ahead on that because he just eats too fucking much. And but that's what he did. And then but yeah, last night he got a package from Walmart, and we went to the store I think on Monday because he let me know that I don't know what it is. It might be his equivalent of food stamps. He doesn't get as much as he used to. I need to get on that if I can. And but he can't use it on cat food. But he was saying, well, I can pick up some stuff that I can share with the cats, like human food. And that's what So he's like, well, and I'm like, okay, well, cool. Well, then what he did is we, like, well, if we can go to Century, it's just right over here. Well, then what happened is he got like 2 pouches for the cats, and he got a whole bunch of pop for himself. And I'm like, look, and this is the thing that gets me, if we do have to go somewhere, he wants to take those cats with him if he can, or at least the one. And I'm thinking, what? I think it'd be more humane to those cats to just put them under. I really do. Because this is a guy who, the minute push comes to shove, he's not going to have money to feed them. And then, like last night, now that was Thursday, he got a package from Walmart, and I just picked it up and shook it. Now, again, you got the cats don't have food. He got the cats who didn't have food. You got cat litter that he didn't buy. Now, he might not be able to buy it with this. But to me, whatever he's getting at Walmart, he probably could have bought cat food with or whatever, because it didn't sound like food. It literally, so I mean, if it's not food that you're buying, you should have been able to buy something else. We got it from Walmart, and it sounded like movies. I shook it. It sounded like he had about 3 or 4 movies in there. And maybe I'm wrong because I didn't see what it is, but that's what it sounded like. And I'm thinking, motherfucker, I've picked up litter 2 or 3 times. He hasn't picked up any. I picked up some other stuff he normally picks up, so we'd have it. And I picked up the litter. So I told him, I go, hey, next month, and it might take you more than 1 month. I go, you're going to be pretty much buying the litter, and he's like, and he didn't argue. Well, he did that, and it's like, yeah, and you want to take one of these cats. That would be irresponsible. Oh, my God. But, yeah, he just, I need something. Well, no, if you're going to have these pets, goddammit, you can't be like these shitbags who abuse them. If you're gonna have them, then you need to be the fucking adult about it, and he cannot be the fucking adult on this shit. But that was the thing that happened like recently because I was honestly thinking about getting them some wet cat food to kind of tide them over. I was honestly thinking about it, and then that fucking box of what sounded like movies came yesterday, and I'm like, you know what, fuck this shit. But I will. I like now maybe he'll have it in time. I don't know because, like I said, he got that whatever it was. He got that one money that he could spend on whatever he got from Walmart. It didn't sound like food. And but we got that last night, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not spending any of my money. They can eat dry. I'll buy dry food, and they can learn to eat it. Um, but I'm gonna like if when they like we got one more pouch of that stuff he picked up, and we've got 2 cans of cat food. And when that's gone, and because the male cat actually likes dry food better than she does. But when she starts harping on me, I'm just going to tell her, look, I go, he ordered some stuff from Walgreens or Walmart. He bought that phone. You got to go talk to him because I go, he seems to have rather have spent his money on other shit than taking care of you. And I can't do anything about that. That's on him. And that's just the way it's going to have to be. I'm sorry. But But yeah, that's the other thing because that sort of happened on Tribal where you get these people that were pretending to be celebrities. They'd contact you and they immediately wanted you to get like call them on a cell phone, call them on their private number. And I'm thinking, well, if you're like somebody famous, why would you want to do that? Wouldn't you rather just keep, you know what I mean? But that's the thing, I don't know. I might not. But if I do, I will let you know if I instantly start getting a whole bunch of spam shit on my phone or if I do that and they're like, oh, well, can you send me a gift card? Sorry, I can't send you a gift card. Well, yeah, but they just don't sell them. They don't sell them in my area either. Whatever problem you got there, they got that problem here too. You know, it's sorry, just can't do it. That happened when I was in Indiana. It was somebody pretending. This pisses me off. This one's lasted a while, but this is the thing. You know, they've supposedly fixed this before. They ain't fixed shit. This thing still breaks. The lead breaks. But but it was somebody that started chatting me up while I was working out, and more than likely, it was the same people that were fucking making me sick, drugging me or poisoning me when I worked at GM. Probably the same fucking shitbags. And but they do they oh well, you know, hey, can you get me a gift card? Well, I had these I didn't think they were good anymore. I had these like really old Apple gift cards. And I mean they I think I moved them like this. I think I bought them when I first got down there, and it was like 6, 7 years ago, and I hadn't used them. I'm like, well, they can have those. And what was funny is I sent one to them, and I go, yeah, this is like it was either like a $10 or a $30 card, and I go, yeah, I got these iTunes ones. Would that be okay? And they said, yeah. And then what was funny is they said it didn't work, and I go, oh, well, I go, the other ones aren't. And they go, can you go get some? No, I go, no, I got health issues. I go, these I had laying around. I go, if they work, you're welcome to them. But I go, I'm not going to be able to go out and get you any cards. I go, these ones here I bought years ago, and I'm not going to use them. So I figured you could have them. But I go, I'm not going to go spend money on stuff like this for you. You can do that yourself. But I can't remember the porn star they were claiming to be. And the thing, you never know. You really never know it. But then as soon as they start asking you, oh, well, can you get me some gift cards? Can you do this? It's like, well, then, you, you can assume that they're either not really the person they say they are, or the person that they say they are is just not really that good. Because, see, and I really feel bad about this. There was a guy I worked with years ago, would have probably been about 20 years ago or so. He actually, according to him, and I don't know, but according to him, he became friends with, God, I might have the wrong person. I think it was Jessica James. Um, I found her to be incredibly attractive. And, but he became friends with her. And because I made some comment, he made a comment. I go, oh man, she is so hot. And he goes, you really think so? I go, oh yeah. He goes, he goes, she actually talks with people online. I go, yeah. I go, it's probably, and he goes, no, it really is. He goes, not all of them are, but I go, you can actually get where you can talk to her. And it sounds like he did. And so that's the thing, you never know. It sounds like he had confirmation that it was really her. Because that was the thing. This one, she was telling me, oh well, yeah, maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. And then I go, well, why don't you send me a video? She goes, well, I don't think I can do that. I go, well, then it really ain't her. Because I was thinking, well, why don't you just send me a quick little video where you're. And I basically gave her like 3 things she needed to say. Because I'm like, well, that makes it kind of hard for somebody to have around. Mentioning my name, mentioning football, or whatever it was. But there were like 3, my name and 2 phrases I wanted her to say in the video. And it would have taken her all of about 30 seconds. She goes, oh, I don't think I could do that. And because I said, let me see you in the image. And see, now you can't do that because they got the deep fake shit. And back then they didn't, but now they got the deep fake shit where they could actually do that and look like somebody else, but the voice wouldn't be right. But it was, she was pretending to be this porn star, or he was pretending to be, I don't know if it was a guy or a girl. They were pretending to be this really, really busty porn star. And I think it was natural. She was pretty hefty on the upper dimensions. Trying to be nice here. But, yeah, I don't know. God, I really pivoted off the topic, didn't I? I apologize. Well, anyways, yeah, so they get back to Skinwalker. But they got this thing on Skinwalker where they're basically talking about the thing coming out of the mesa at over 3,000 miles an hour. And I don't know if it's the old stuff or if they've actually got another one. But that was the whole thing, and I'm kind of waiting to see what happens. But like when that guy made that comment, well, one, I don't even know if it was a real video. Maybe it was doctored. That he did that. And I don't know. I don't know if he doctored it, if it was real. And then the other thing is, like I said, the first thing was, well, is this real? Can you check the original footage that you have and see if this, because, if, and again, and there's people that would believe and there's people that wouldn't believe, but if the ranch people, if Brandon and Eric and Travis and them guys, if they basically came out and said, well, this is the original footage, we've zoomed in exactly like he did, and we're not seeing this, I'd believe them. I think everybody decent would believe them. I really do. I don't think that. I think that would be a fucking no-brainer. And then, oh my God. I did not mean to do that. I'm going to cut down this really, really big tree, though. But, so that was the first thing, and no response. But, could you go and pull up the original footage? And and again, if you guys made a mistake, and, because it was night. It was pitch black out. They had about 18 different things going on, all of them busy. I could cut them some slack on that. I would consider that an honest mistake. And, and they put the footage out there. But here's the thing. Now, if this is something he pulled off his TV, is this something that's indicative of his TV and not what they? But it's like, you guys got the original footage. Let's take a look and see what that original. So like, I'm planning on watching it again. I might do it over the weekend. I'm planning on watching it again, and I will take a look because I didn't notice any of that, and I think I had watched the show like 2 times at that point, and didn't see any of it. And we know, anybody that follows it knows that there have been people that have been absolutely dishonest on this for decades. They have been completely willing to lie, make stuff up. And there's honest debunking too, so I really don't know, but I don't really have a good track record with that guy. I really don't. I can't put that up yet. And well, then the next thing, and I didn't think about it until after I had wrote that post, but because basically there was a fly locally, and I was watching it. I had to take care of it, and then I thought, wait a minute, flies don't fly like that. He said, oh, this is a fly that came in front of the camera, and first of all, it wasn't in focus, and you should have heard it. Because they're out in the middle of nowhere. There's just not a lot of shit going on. So you would think that if you heard a fly bzz, bzz, bzz in front of your camera, you might have noticed. And you would think, at least, maybe. And then what happened was, I was looking at it. I'm like, yeah, flies don't fly like that. They literally do not. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm sitting there like, because again, I watched, and it was the video they had put up, the little detractors. Well, this thing fucking looked like a missile going across the screen. And I'm like, yeah, that's another thing. It's like, if this was really a fly or any type of insect, it shouldn't be flying that straight. It should be a lot more unsteady, jerking around. And, it should be jerking up and down, left and right. The body should be moving, and that field should be fluctuating with the fly. When you watch the original video the original, not the bullshit from the people on the not the bullshit from the nut jobs. Phone's ringing. I'm not going to be able to get to it. I hope they leave a message. I like a text message or something like that. That one did not look like a Wisconsin or a New York number. I'll have to look it up later, but I got so much shit calls. It ain't even funny. It's they had that one yesterday. That kind of put me in a bad mood. It really did. But they were. I'm not saying they were actively, but they were going along. They were like willing to pretend to be Social Security, and then it had a different phone number, so it was either somebody else or it was them using a different phone number. But I got two calls today, and they were both like the one yesterday and the one today. Well, the two today, it really sounded like they were law firms, and they wanted to help me with my disability payments. And I told both. Now these people, they didn't seem like the fucking clown yesterday. They actually seemed like they might be legitimate. And they're like, well, yeah, we're a law firm. We're willing to help you. And I go, look, I just because I asked them like they were kind of vague about it. And I go, look, I just want to ask. I go, are you with Social Security? And they go, oh no, we're the disability department. We're gonna help you. Because they go, we've looked you over, and we're pretty sure you actually would qualify. And I go, well, yeah, here's the thing. I go, I already got a company. And I go, they got lawyers, they got a team. I go, they have grabbed my medical records, they've processed them, they've sent them in. And they sound pretty good. I go, I don't want to give you the name, but I go, I'm already represented. I go, I already signed an agreement. And I go, the way it works, I go, whether you help me or they help me, I go, they're going to get the money. There won't be any money for you. And they go, wow. They go, now that you're telling us that you're represented, we can't represent you. I go, well, that's fair enough. I just don't want to waste your guys' time. I don't want to be dishonest. I don't want to waste their time. And they appreciated that. So I did kind of think that was nice. But I told him, I don't want to waste your guys' time. If you guys want to help out for free and you think you can help me get on disability, I go, that's great. But I go, there won't be any money for you because I go, this other company, I already signed all the agreements with them. And I go, that's just the way it is. And then they were pretty decent about it. I did appreciate that. Thing that really bothers me though is like, okay, let's just say that this person I was talking, let's just say it's the real deal. Um, there is absolutely no way. Like, let's just say that's the home run of bullshit. Um, let's say she's because this is the thing that this happened with Riley Reed. If you don't know who she is, you're probably not old enough to be watching this conversation. But she basically was lonely. She wanted somebody. She basically, and I don't know how long it's gonna last. May have already fucked up, but she basically got to where she was not gonna do boy girl scenes anymore. And somebody asked her why she was doing it. She goes, I'm tired of being alone. That was her response to that. I'm tired of I saw her in an interview. She goes, I'm tired of being alone. And so yeah, but again, she's chatting with everybody. But I mean, let's just say that's what it is. She's looking for somebody nice. Um, oh my God, it would have been nice to meet her when I was closer to like meet someone like that when I was closer to their age. I want to say I'm probably 20 or 30 years older than her. Maybe might not be as bad as I think it, but I'm probably at least 20, maybe 30 years older than her. And my health is shit. I mean, my God. I firmly believe that she deserves. I mean, even if they're not as even, because I'm not that nice of a person either. I'm not perfect, anything like that. But like, my God, she deserves somebody that she doesn't have to be a nursemaid for. Um, you know, I just, the health issues I got, all I'm going to be is a disappointment and a drag on her. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'll talk to her on social media. I don't think I'm gonna send anything to her private phone. But it just like, my God, where was this when it might have been fun? You know, I mean, even just a friend you could go on vacation with. Um. Yeah. Well, anyways, uh, so they got that going on, and I saw the commercial for Beyond Skinwalker, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember what they were talking. I've seen the one for Skinwalker a couple different times, and but my God, man. Oh, what do we got here? None of them are. Oh shit. None of them are desperate to be healed right now. The tools. Oh, excuse me. But my God, I I'm doing better than the. I'm starting to feel it a little bit now, but I'm doing better than the other day. But I gotta go. I'm gonna go put some ice on my foot. I don't know how long I've been here. Not sure how long I've been streaming, but I'm starting to feel it a little bit, but better than the other. The other day I went to shit, but I'm starting to feel it now, and it's not bad. I'm out of the pain pills. I was only using them to make sure I slept. I've been sleeping pretty, as far as I know, I've been sleeping okay. Like there's a couple now. The first couple days I didn't have pain pills. I was up a little bit more, but I think the last 2 nights I was falling asleep somewhere between 8 and 10 o'clock, and then waking up like 2:33 in the morning. Like today, I think I was after 3 o'clock when I woke up, and so that's good. I can live with that. That's good. And what I'll do is I'm gonna go and fire up the emerald farm, raid farm. I'll get some emeralds, and then I'm going to go. I don't know how much I'm gonna do. I might just get some. I can heal up some more of my tools when I'm buying this stuff. But I will go to the raid farm, get some emeralds. Then I will go to my village where I have my. I'll go to my village where I have the stonemasons. And then if I'm still streaming and I got a few minutes, I will go and see if I can. If I can't, I'll probably end it then. But if I've got my nether, I think it's called netherrack, the fruit stuff. If I got that, I can harvest. I'll harvest that too, and maybe go back into the nether and get some red nether bricks. And But you know, and this is the thing I don't know, but like that one girl back when she used to do this, she was really attractive. I looked up some pictures. I'm like, well, God, is that who I think it is? Because basically, and she's got it in her official Instagram account, and she's got it in this. She's like, if you know, you know. That's all she throws out there for like if you figure out who she is. But she got she was like all natural, real thin. Well, I haven't seen her in a while, and I am a little bit of a fan. I ain't gonna lie. I find her attractive. I think she's really, really attractive, and I will be. I don't really feel like that's a cross of shame to bear. I do find her very, very attractive, and the thing is, she got a boob job, and the pictures I looked up, I'm like, oh my God, she. I think she looks. I mean, she looked good before. Don't get me wrong, but I think she really looks sexy now. Different, but I think and again, I don't know. Maybe it's gotten because some of those people they go through so much plastic surgery, and some of them they go through the plastic surgery so they don't have to diet or exercise. But the pictures I saw, and they were way different than back when she was all natural. She looked good. I mean, she looked good before. I'm not trying to denigrate her. She looked different, but my God, she looked cute before. She looked downright sexy in this. But yeah, I am kind of waiting for Tuesday to watch the next episode of Skinwalker Ranch. But that's the thing, and I'm sorry. Maybe that one guy, because he was being a dick. And again, maybe he was right, and if he was right, he wasn't being a dick. But the stuff he was saying did not match up with common sense. Like the thing he saw, he was saying that it was a wing of a fly. Well, to me, again, when you watch the original thing and they were showing it, and they showed it multiple times, and they even zoomed in on it a couple times on the show, and they've got the original. Uh, you know, it if it's a fly and it's all blurry because it's right up against the camera, well then that blurriness should distort as it follows the fly. Instead of it being because it looked like it was a perfect oval. I gotta wait for one of those flag bearing leaders. I gotta just sit here. Um, but and it should that field should be moving instead of being a perfect oval because it's only being distorted by the fly's body and that wing. And the other thing I mentioned, I go, you need to talk to the guy that owns that camera, the high speed camera guy, because I go, some of those newer cameras, everything's in focus. They don't use lenses like that. And I go, some of them newer cameras, everything's in focus, and this may or may not, I don't know. But I go, the reason I know this is because there was God, I wish I could give him the credit, but it's like LJM or something like that. He streams Stardew Valley, and he's also got a ton of videos up where he is helping people like me, people who don't know what the hell they're doing with streaming, and he is helping them learn how to adjust stuff. Well, one of the things he was doing, he was showing you how to put an effect on your webcam so it would distort the background. And he explained that with a normal camera, with an older camera, what you would do is you would get it focused in on you. And then what would happen is you would be in focus, stuff closer to the camera and behind you would gradually be more and more out of focus because you were the point of focus, the range to you. And he said, and what happens is they tell you that it's a psychology thing of the eye or the brain that if you've got something that's in focus and something that isn't in focus, naturally, subconsciously, your brain or your eyes are going to focus on what's in focus. It's not going to focus on the blurry shit. So, like, so me, if I ever, like, I can't do it because I'm on an Xbox, I don't think you can apply effects to this. But if I actually had the ability to apply those effects, I'd want to do it here so that the stuff behind me is out of focus a little bit. And like anything ahead of me, which you don't realize from looking at the camera, there isn't that much in front of me. But basically, I would be the focus of it, and that's what. So some of these newer cameras, you got to take that into account. There might not be anything out of focus, and that is something we need to know. He did that one other time, and I believe it was the military. This was not like, some fucking local yokel out in the forest somewhere. I believe the military are the ones that filmed it. I might be wrong, but you had these ships that appeared to be triangle shaped. And then he made a thing that, oh, well, sometimes if the thing is out of focus, they will take on the aperture and look like a triangle. And it's like, well, wait a minute. The if that's the case, then that should be centered on the center of the picture. And as these ships, that was I kind of thought that. I can't remember. I did not describe it well. I did not in I didn't detail it well when I said it, but other people came forward and did a much better job dissecting it and explaining what I was trying and failing to explain. But they're like, well, yeah, then that aperture distortion should change focus as it moves around the picture. Like it shouldn't remain a triangle all the way around this thing. And the other thing that he didn't account for, and again, I consider this dishonest. It might be lazy, it might be sloppy, it might be incompetent, but I consider it, being dishonest because the other thing they pointed out is they go, well, you don't just have the picture, you've got the eyewitnesses, and I believe they were military. The eyewitnesses, either on the ship or at the base, that said they were triangle shaped. They weren't looking through the camera. They were looking in the sky. And they said they looked like triangles shape. And, so that was going on and all this other stuff. But he's done that before where he just basically looks for an easy, a dishonest, or a lazy answer and throws it out and then moves on to his... Because there was one of them he did... It's like, well, wait a minute. And it was at Solway Firth, and I know I talked about this. So I really don't want to go into depth on it for this. If I go into any more depth on it, I want to actually look it up, have it fresh in my mind, and not be going from memory. But it's like, my God, there was one of these shows, and I think it was a ghost show, and it was either something I watched on YouTube or they had put the show, whatever it was, on YouTube, or it was something my brother was watching. And what these people would do is they would go in, and because they would see a video. Somebody will, yeah, this is what we saw. And it was a ghostly image in a theater or something like that. And what they would do is they would go in and try and recreate it. They would go in, they would look around, and they would see how close they could make something that looked like that. And, if they made something that looked like it, then they would figure there was a good chance it was a hoax. And it wasn't all the time, but there were times when they would go in there, they would do their level best. They would bring in stuff, they would do their little doodah and all that. And nothing, absolutely nothing that they could make would even come close. And, and again, maybe because if I went into that, I wouldn't be able to make any. But I don't know how expertise the people they brought into that show were. Hang on. Yeah, we're on hard. I keep hitting the button to... when I keep going to check. I do it all the time, not every time, but I do it a fair amount. Where I go to hit the button to check which difficulty I'm on, and I hit the button to create it. I got to go in and delete a whole bunch of screenshots. Sometimes I think this helps by getting out of there and unloading the chunks. I think it helps. I don't have a bed over here because I don't want to screw around and have because if a villager links to it, then the raid the raid will spawn in the wrong spot. So I can't have one over here. Also, the bed. If a villager links to it, it can just totally break the farm until I start breaking beds. Because and I think this was a glitch, but the fact is it's the way the reality was on it. But I had this on another one that there was a village near. There was a village near this. Like I built one too close to the village, and what happened was every now and then the two villages, like the village here, what technically is considered a village, the villagers and the bed, the thing here at the raid farm would link with the village that was nearby, and they were well over 100 blocks apart. And again, I might be wrong, but my understanding is they were not supposed to link. Well, they would link, and then I would have to go and basically fix that and get it to work again, because by default it wouldn't want to work. I might not get any emeralds. This might be all I'm gonna do for the stream. I thought I could come over because I only need like one or two raids and I'll get like a half a stack or a stack of emeralds. I think they nerfed this. Either that or the mechanics of this are changed where you'd have to rebuild it to get it to work. But this happened the other day, and I thought maybe they broke the mechanics, and because I wasn't gonna rebuild it. But I really thought that they had broken the mechanics. Well, then after a while, I did get some of those outpost guys with their they're coming along pretty good. I can't complain. I'll get some more arrow. I'll replenish my arrows. What it is, I'm gonna be sitting here for so long, and I'm gonna start vegging out talking to you guys. I'm gonna forget all about it. So I'll probably get at least one and fuck it up. I'm wondering if because I moved it up. I moved it up for a reason, and I'm wondering if I'm up there now and it doesn't function. Maybe they cut the range on it too, because it seems like I come down a little bit and it is just chugging along. They're just dropping down. I'm wondering if some of the spots are not. Yeah, I'm starting to fade a little bit. All in all, it's been a better day than yesterday. Yesterday I was so bummed out though, because you had these people that are claiming they want to help you, and one way or another it was a fucking scam, and it's just like you gotta be fucking kidding me. But 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 yeah, so it you know, but he did this thing where, and I go, yeah, I don't really know, but I go, you got this guy just coming and making these odd comments. And I go, if he's honestly saying, and then, I think they took that to heart because it was either later, I think it was the next season, last season, where he tried to recreate it, and I'll give him, hey, I got to give him credit for that. It still didn't look right. It didn't look like what he said it would look like, but he at least said, well, yeah, I think this is what it is, and he goes, I'm gonna kind of create it here, and I will give him credit for that. Hey, that I think that's a good thing. I really do think that was a good thing, and you won't hear me say too much nice about that guy. But the guy who runs the show, or the producer, if somebody saw my Twitter comment, because I tweeted out to him, and he's never done that. He just makes these obscure. Well, he basically did that, and I got to give him a lot of credit for that. It still didn't look like what he said it was going to look like, but at least he was like, hey, what we'll do, and then you can make the decision for yourself. Like, hey, this is what we saw in the video. This is what Mick did. You can judge it, and and then there you go. But the thing that got me is when I saw that original one on Skinwalker, it didn't look like that distortion changed at all. Whatever it was, it looked like an oval. And you didn't see that thing that he was showing where it looked like a fly's wing going up. But when you watched it, it didn't break. You didn't see that distortion change. And it's like, well, if that really is a fly and you're seeing the distortion from its wing, that distortion should move with the wing, and it didn't appear to do that. And the other thing is, and again, I mentioned this before, and this is really nagging at me. If anybody out there, if you've actually seen a fly, if you've tried to kill a fly, you even just clap your hands near a fly, you know how they get thrown around. And when they showed this, it was straight as an arrow. It looked like a fucking missile going across the screen. It did not look like an insect zigging and zagging. And the other thing is, if it really was that high-speed camera, it should be even jaggier than normal because it should be catching everything. Not just the 60 frames per second or minute or whatever it is that they were doing. It should be catching, it was like 1,000 or 2,000. That fly should have been moving a lot more. It shouldn't have been going perfectly straight. And I might be wrong in it, but it seems to me that's the way it should be. And it's like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Ooh, is that a... Is that a... Nope. Well, I have had, and I'm feeling it now. What I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I might go look at my phone and see the messages on it. And then I might come back and do a little bit more, but I'm going to end the stream because I'm wandering all over, and I'm still feeling good right now, and I don't want to wait till it gets bad. But I'll go ahead and end the stream. Anybody that showed up that I could not see in the chat for some reason, like I said yesterday, I didn't think anybody showed up, and then it basically told me I had 2 viewers. Well, I can only be 1 viewer. So anybody that's on there that I cannot see because I'm on my tablet watching this stream, I completely apologize. I absolutely, completely apologize. But I peace out. I hope everybody has a really good day.